So I want to welcome you all to our very first Monday meetup. We are going to be doing these calls as a team every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific. And anyone can get on these calls. There's no requirement. It's just a place for us to get together. A Jewel is going to lead the call every week, and we are going to share some training. It's not going to necessarily follow any format, whatever the Jewel who is hosting that week wants to train on, that's what she'll train on. So if you can all mute yourselves, that will cut down on the background noise. That'll be great, just so that the recording can be as possible. And so for those of you who are just on the diamond call, I just wanted to plug that call. That's a call you can earn every month by either adding 3 or ranking up to gold, I believe it is, or hitting a new rank beyond that. So Emily, if I missed something on how to earn that call, maybe
you can develop a silver, 200 PV. You rank up gold or higher. If you lost ranking, you re-rank gold, that will count as well. And then adding 3 new VIPs.
There you go. And that call was with Lisa Shyrock. I don't know. I forget it. I mess it up all the time. But so you can earn that for next month, and that'll be super exciting. And I'm not going to go over specials and stuff like that. We just kind of want to stick to training. I did a kind of a live in Dare to be Diamond that went over all the monthly things. So what I wanted to touch on this week was a couple of points, and it's kind of a collection. Let me shut my door. The dog's going there.
I'm going to say, if you can, put your screen on so we can see your pretty faces. It's for connection too. So show your face if you can. I understand if you can't, but show your face if you can.
Sorry, I'm working real quick. I'm trying to sign up.
Okay. Well, if you, like she said, even if you're cooking dinner, this isn't one of those calls where I feel like, you need to be sitting here listening, taking notes. That big of a is community. We want to be together. So if you're cooking, close your clothes, and you don't mind putting your camera on, put your camera on, because we just want to be together and hang out and share some information with each other. So I wanted to focus on a couple of things that have really been on my heart lately. And if you've read the QBQ book, Question Behind the Question, or you've been listening to the tips from the top, you might have heard some of this, but it's kind of crazy because even Lisa touched on something that I wanted to say today. So as she was talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about that. So I just think it's really timely and a subject that I wanted to go over, like I said, and just it pertains to everything that we do. So one of the things about QBQ that I love that really got me fired up to do it as a team is the concept of personal responsibility. And if you've heard that book, you can listen to it in less than 2 hours or read it. I can't imagine. I mean, I assume it would take a couple hours. And listen to the book within like 3 days if you have half an hour a day. But it really, what caught my attention when I was listening to it first was the prospect of personal responsibility. And so we all have things that we want to happen in our business. And yes, this is a business where we rely on each other, right? We grow our business by adding, team members, VIPs, ambassadors.
Come over here. Come over here.
Guys, make sure you mute yourself, please.
Come here.
Whoever's chasing their pup. And if it's not your pup and it's your kid, sorry. So personal responsibility. This is a team business, but ultimately we can only control what we do ourselves, right? And so in the QBQ book, a couple of the chapters really talked about that and how it's our natural instinct to be like, why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? or, you know,
All right.
why is this
Where is she?
better? Why is that better? Whatever your excuse, whatever kind of your
Where is she?
that
We're at the bridge right now, and Nathan's gonna take their e-bike and come over here, and they'll tell us where they are when they get here. Oh, shoot, I can't hear.
I don't mean to put you all on blast, but Johanna and Shandy, do you mind muting? I'm not on my computer. I can't mute it.
I'm driving.
Yeah, can you just mute your phone?
Oh, you said mute it. Sorry. Yes.
Thank you. So you can control what you do, right? And so this kind of all evolves into different aspects. I feel like, so I want to touch on personal accountability and I want to touch on leadership. And that's where this is all going to wrap into each other. And so I think that we've gotten a little bit lost in our leadership role as far as thinking that that means coaching our team into doing things that we need them to do rather than doing those things ourselves. And I feel that as a leader, this ties into personal accountability. If you focus on what can you do, then you're setting an example for your team. And by setting that example and showing them that example and being that example, you're being the leader that you need to be. But by trying to be the leader and saying, okay, Nina had these so many VIPs. Now, what am I going to tell Nina to do all these, for her to promote, which of course we want to do because that's the end goal, right? We want to help Nina reach her goals. But if you're just telling her what to do, but you're not doing it yourself, it's harder to get Nina to do those things. So if in the meantime, I'm saying I'm still recruiting people, and when I have a new VIP, what do I do with them? Am I asking them to put up that first post? Am I asking them to participate in that 3-day sample challenge that we're doing? Am I asking them to promote the intermittent fasting group? Because if I myself am not doing that, then why am I turning to Nina and saying, here are all the things you need to do? So to me, leadership is doing the things that you can control and being an example. And from the fruit of that activity, your team will see what you're doing and they'll want to repeat that because they'll see that your business is growing, that you're in momentum, that you're excited, that you're getting shouted out on the team page that like, wow, Sylvia's still adding 3 every month or more. And, we're always impressed. I don't know if you guys see it as often, but we always see on the Jewel page, Celeste is always killing everything. She doesn't just earn convention prizes because her team, the structure is that you get points for what your team does. She's not earning things because her team does whatever. If there's a notepad to be earned or a prize to be earned and you personally have to recruit however many people, she earns it. And so I just wanted to impress that we have to keep working on the things that we can control. And so I want to encourage you that as a leader, you're not pointing out what people need to do. You should be doing those things and being the example. And this was in the video that I watched today. I think it was the day 6 tip from the top. Fallon Rabe said, you're not responsible for people's success, but you are responsible for giving them direction. And I think that giving people direction is by setting an example of showing people, I do new reach outs every day. I follow up with yesterday's reach outs every day. I connect with my customers every day. I have a way of keeping track of when my customers' orders are going out. So I'm not like, oh crud, her order just ran yesterday and I haven't even checked in on her lately. Do you have a system for that? What do you do when someone new joins? Are you doing all those things so that when your team asks you, this isn't like, oh, this is what you do. It's, yeah, this is what I do with all my new VIPs. Let me teach you. And so I just wanted to share that bit of leadership and accountability. And then there was something else that tied into that. Oh yeah, okay. As ambassadors, no matter what level you are, I do want you to be in the mindset of being both, kind of always new always sharing, always growing, and being in that leadership role, which is showing that this is duplicatable. And so it's really important that as you continue to do those steps, then you're continuing to build your business, and that's giving you a solid foundation. Because if you're just, you know, I have, Johanna is a strong jewel leg, Amy is a strong jewel leg, there's other jewels below them, and then I have multiple level ones. Trudy is senior gold leg, and then I have other legs that aren't quite at those levels. If I just focus on those 3 legs, and any one of them, for some reason, something happens, that's, if you know, if you've got a tripod and you lose one leg, that's a significant loss. But if I'm working with myself with what I can control, which is I'm sharing with people, with new people, I'm getting new VIPs, I'm teaching them, those new VIPs, what they can, that they can get their products paid for, that they can maybe earn a little extra income, baby steps, then I'm continuing to grow my base so that I'm even more solid. And that's one of the reasons, I don't know how much you've paid attention to the Star Diamond prizes, because a lot of times we don't focus too much on something that we're not there quite yet. But what that program is doing is it's rewarding you for having a solid business, because the more jewel legs you have, the higher kind of your Star Diamond level goes. And I think it's really smart of Plexus to have done that, because it's promoting building a solid business that isn't dependent on just certain legs. Okay. And like Fallon said again today in her video, she mentioned that she'd rather have solid than fast, or solid than huge, you know, because if you don't have that foundation, we're a pretty wide team. We're really deep and we're really wide. So we do have a solid team, but I just want to encourage you all to keep doing that work, because that's what's going to help you in the long run. If anything were to happen with any of your legs, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's always a big deal, but it's not as painful, because you're going to have all these other supporting legs in your organization. And so I think that it is important for all of us, no matter where we are in our business, whether you're brand new or you've been here forever, to be thinking that way, that what's the day in and day out work that I need to do? What's my normal income producing activity, which is reach outs, follow up, customer care. And one of the things that I would encourage you to do right away from the beginning is leadership development, not just personal development, leadership development, because that is going to help you figure out, what do I need to do to encourage these people, to these people being your VIPs? How am I going to be a good coach to my VIPs? How am I going to be a good upline to these brand ambassadors who now want to grow a business? And you really have to be looking at that for yourself. And so I want to encourage you, if there's something that you aren't sure what the next step is, so if you have a new VIP and you just have a new VIP and you're on to your new cold reach outs and you don't know what to do with those new VIPs, I encourage you to figure that out. That's your task for this week, is to say, okay, I have a new VIP, now what? Are you encouraging them to set up that first post to share? Are you encouraging them to grab an accountability partner? I love the post that Trudy has. She might, I don't know if she's on here. Jill is a new silver ambassador. Hopefully she jumped on. If not, she put up a post, and I really love the way she worded it. Actually, I was going to put it in Dare, and I will do that, because she talked about how she's been using the products for 3 years. She's a teacher. It's summer, and now she decided this summer she's going to tell some people about it because she wants some extra cash, and she's going to add in the intermittent fasting. And she didn't say, you know, we always do better when we have an accountability partner who wants to join me. She was like, I am looking for someone to do this with me, because I know that I do better with accountability partners. Who will be my accountability partner? So it was just a little more direct. I just appreciated that she wasn't just like, this is fun with friends, who wants to do this, which isn't a terrible message, but the way she worded it was really I liked it. I saw it and thought, wow, that's a great way to say it. Is she was saying, you know, it helps me to have an accountability partner. I am looking for 2 people to join me. Who wants to join me? And she had a lot of interest. I think Trudy and I, it's like up to 3, 4, 5 people that have messages like, wait, what's going on? And so I just want you to keep knowing what your next step is. So if you don't know what your next step is, I want you to think, am I doing new reach outs? If not, you need to start doing that. What's the message? I don't know, make it up. I make up new messages every day. Like I'm kind of, I appreciate scripts, but I think we get wrapped up in scripts. I'm just like, who is this person and what can I say to them? And so I met my neighbor's 2 girlfriends and they both were complaining about their stomachs. So I asked her, can you ask them if I can have their phone numbers? They said yes. I messaged them both like separately, like, hey, tell me a little bit about more about your stomach issues because I think Plexus might be able to help you. Send. Like that's my cold reach out. You know, I don't know. I keep dropping random ones in a chat that I have because I just come up with them and go, okay, this is what I sent today. But I don't want you to overthink things. So if you have that, back to, I'm kind of going off track, but back to the task. Do you know your next steps in your business? When you do you do cold reach outs? Are you looking for new prospects? When you sign a VIP, is it just, yay, tell me when you get your product? Because you're wasting time. So what's your next step with a VIP? Do you have that system down? And if you don't, figure it out because you have to be the example for what your team is going to do. So if you don't know what you're going to do next, how do you expect them to do anything next? So what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? I want you to start thinking about that and mapping that out and being that leader example, but in the baby steps. We need to be the leader example in the beginning steps. So in the reach outs, in the coaching through products, recommending welcome packs. Once they're a VIP, what do? We are trying to set up a flow. We're having these Monday meetups, but we're also going to be doing a business 15-minute messenger event every Thursday. We're going to get the wheels oiled on that. Actually, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit, but mainly because we are getting a lot of VIP joins. So that's not really an issue, but this business event. So don't get caught up in the business event. We're not jumping into business. By this biz event, I mean, it's a 15-minute messenger event that's really encouraging them to just share their link. Hey, do you want to get those products for free? Yeah, cool. Join me on this 15-minute event. We're going to talk about how you can do that. And the event's all about sharing your referral link so that they're getting their product for free. So on our end, yes, that's business, but this isn't a call of if you go silver and if you go gold and da 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 da. This is why you should share your link. This is the benefit of sharing your link. This is how you share your link. And so we're going to start doing those. And then we're also going to incorporate, once we kind of get that going, earlier in the week event for potentials. We haven't really done that because we do have these 3 days kind of going pretty often right now in the intermittent fasting group. So those are both great launching pads for us to get people to join as VIPs. So the biz event is going to be a way for us to really encourage them to share their referral link and get them going and getting a taste of what this could be and hoping that that benefits them and that they like it and they want to continue. So those are my tidbits, is be a leader in the baby things. It's not do the baby things and now you're gold, senior gold, rupee, and now I'm just moving on to the leader. You have to be a leader in the baby things and be in control of what you can control. And if something is, annoying you, so-and-so's just not doing this. I mean, as a leader, you have to have the hard talks. If someone's telling you they want to do this and they want to make money and they need to make money and you're saying, okay, these are the next steps and they're not doing it. I don't mean, okay, move on and be the example and do all those things. You got to have that conversation with them of, remember when you told me that you needed to make that extra $300 and I gave you these steps? It's been a couple weeks and you haven't taken step 1. So let's work on that. Are you ready to do that? Let's do it right now. I'll send you a post, get it up. And then you'll see you'll get a read on what they really mean and what they're really willing to do. But beyond that, if you have a team that you think, well, they're not adding, or they're not duplicating, or they're not sharing, or they're not posting, don't let it irritate you. Do the things that you can control. So you post, you share, you add, share the excitement when you're adding so your team knows, see, when you do these reach outs, there's benefits. So that's what you should be doing. It's simple. And you're letting them know that this is how things get done, right? And then there's that little bit of like, well, there she goes. I don't want to be left behind. So I'm going to start doing those things too. So those are my tips. If anybody has any questions, we can open it up to questions because we are going to jump off of here in 9 minutes.
What time is the Thursday call again? The little referral link?
Set it up. I'll be setting it up. It'll probably be in the evening.
I wanted to know what posts you guys put when you first sign them up as a VIP before they have their products, because I've seen the ones when they get them.
Yeah, I mean, that can be simple. It can be, I mean, I always encourage people, I'm like, before and afters speak volumes. So like, hey, I'm waiting to get my stuff. I'm joining this intermittent fasting group. Check out these results. Like literally 2 sentences. I'm waiting for my stuff. I'm joining this intermittent fasting group. Look at these results. And then 4, 5, 6, 10 before and afters. And people are like, what? I want in on that. So it could be as simple as that. It doesn't, I think the more wordy it is, the more like a brochure and weird it starts to sound, right? And that's when people get all weird. And Brooke Hemingway always says, just don't be weird. Just say what you're going to say. And so I think that's a simple way. Or I'm waiting for my product to come. We're having a 3-day sample event. I would love for you to try what I've already tried and decided I want. Who wants to try a 3-day sample or whatever, you know, invite them to the 3-day sample event. So to me, those are some simple ways to just throw something up and start sharing testimonies, people's testimonies. I tell people all the time, your story is not everybody's story. So because you joined, because you have this autoimmune issue, but your next door neighbor just wants to lose 10 pounds, or you joined to lose weight, but your next door neighbor has these pain issues. So you share a testimony and then they can relate to that testimony, even though it's not your testimony. Anybody else?
I wanted to remind people that there's a 30-day customer care guide. My team's gonna roll their eyes because I say it all the time. 30-day customer care guide. It works. It's been so beneficial. We are having great retention because of it. The IF group is another great avenue for retention. So do the steps to help with retention like Sylvia's doing. But if you're like, what do? I just signed a VIP. There's literally a guide on the Dare to Be Diamond page. It says, signed a VIP, now what? Start there and then go to the 30-day customer care guide, which is right below that or above it.
Yeah, Nina, it's in the guide. So if you go to Dare to Be Diamond, across the top, it's like, you know, photo albums and whatever. One of them says guides, click on guides. I did go through that customer care guide just the other day because sometimes I don't do it day by day, but I'll be like, oh, I have a new customer. What can I send? What message can I send them? And I'll look through there and pick one out. And again, as I was reading through them, sometimes it just seems the first ones I love. As we keep going, I think that they start getting a little scripty, but that's not a big deal. And you edit it to fit your friend. It's a great jumping point to give you that idea of what do I say. And so again, don't get lazy and fall into cutting and pasting, because it does start to sound a little bit like that app we used to have with the automatic messages.
Lexi.
Yeah. So that you are thinking that and you know, like one of them I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like we've already discussed that. And I scrolled on to the next. It's not even every day. It's like every 3 days or something. So, but it's a great, like you don't know what to do. That's what I do. Like, I'll be like, I tried to start it right at the beginning, but it's like, dang it, I didn't start it with her and she's already had her products and I've already asked her, how's it going? And I don't want to just keep asking, how's it going? I go there and I find an idea of what to send them. One thing that's great about that from the very beginning is it does explain perks. And so that encourages them to keep their subscription on. So any other questions?
With the customer care, I just copied and pasted it into my notes so I don't have to go onto the page and do whatever. And yes, edit it to make it sound like you. Copywriting matters, you guys, like the language, the days of copy and pasting are over. Like they just are. People can see right through it. It's got to sound like you. You have to speak with confidence. Otherwise, the whole like, let me know, like you were even saying earlier with, who was it? Jill, it was like, I need a partner, bring it on. Like that kind of direct language that sounds like you is so much better than the, hey, just checking in or just wanted to know, let me know. Nobody's going to let you know, so stop asking. Copywriting matters. So really focus on your language. And that again is a good sign of leadership too, because you can project that and teach that to your team. They're going to see your verbiage and it's going to transfer down. So that's my tidbit on that.
No, I agree. Think about who you're sending your message to. Like I said, I'll just get a whim of like, oh, this is what I'm going to say to so-and-so. And then I'll drop it in one of my chats because I'll be like, this is a message I sent out today. And it's not meaning copy it. I don't know. I kind of use those as triggers of like, oh yeah, that message relates to all of these of my friends. I can use this message, but it goes to show like this message is specific to this person because she's a mom that I see at pickups. Or like my latest one was teachers, right? Like, oh, summer's coming. Isn't that exciting? Are you looking for some extra income? That kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, anyone else have a question? No? Alrighty, well, thank you guys for jumping on here. It's been a crazy busy day with a lot of calls. If you didn't do the community huddle with Plexus, you should go listen to it. They talked about the benefits of X Factor. It's the product of the month. And Dr. Hartman went over all of why it's so awesome. And I heard some things that it reminded me that I was like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. And he talked about why we need supplementation, not substitution or something like that. But he was kind of talking about like, why do we need supplementation? So I thought that was good for overcoming objections. So I would go listen to that. And the testimony that the lady gave was really good. So I would go catch that call. And then if you earn the call with a diamond and you couldn't jump on, definitely get that recording because Lisa was fabulous. So we will see you next week for our Monday. And I will get that. We're going to be doing those messenger events. The intermittent fasting group just started. So if for some reason we don't pull it off this week, but I'm trying not to make excuses and just get it ready. So be looking for that. Alrighty.
My team, stay put, my team.
Everyone get off unless you're on Alyssa's team. She's going to have a little powwow.
Yes.
See you guys. Oh, I can't leave. I'm going to leave my room and you guys, because I'm not going to be here anyway, but my phone will be on. Okay. And then when you're done, I'll just come back in a little while.
You can stop recording too. It's fine.
Yeah, stop recording. See ya.